Good evening. Welcome to the 2022 Ohio Challenge Hot Air Balloon and Skydiving Festival. This is our 19th event, and we're really glad you joined us here in beautiful Middletown, Ohio. We're especially happy you're here in person, but we also, for the first time ever, actually for the second night, first event ever, we are live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you want to see a replay of the event and enjoy any segments of this, feel free to reach out on any three of those platforms and you'll be able to see the event again. So again, thank you for joining us. My name is Dave Pierce. I am one of the 16 members of the planning committee that makes this event happen every year, and it's a pleasure to have you here tonight. Our mission is to provide a high-quality, family-oriented festival that celebrates Middletown's love of balloons and skydiving. And that's really important, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later with my friend here next to me. We're excited to bring you some very diverse entertainment that we've added this year. You just watched the Smoke On Aviation team do some flight formations over the last hour, but we've got a jam-packed evening for you. We're going to take you on an exciting ride, and we're going to be letting you know as each entertainment activity unfolds to keep you up to date. You will also get the opportunity to have most of this narrated. My friend here, John Hart, is going to talk you through a lot of exciting skydiving jumps later, and really the purpose of those jumps, how those jumps are executed. I think he does a great job, and you're going to really enjoy that. Let's get started. We've got a few taped comments from Ohio leaders and leaders from the Middletown community that have put together a message specifically for all of us here at this event tonight. So let's first hear from Ohio's Senator Rob Portman.
Hi, I'm U.S. Senator Rob Portman. Welcome to the 19th Annual Ohio Challenge Hot Air Balloon and Skydiving Festival. Hope you're enjoying the balloons, the nightly fireworks, the airplane and helicopter rides, the skydivers, the food, and the craft vendors throughout this weekend. My staff and I love this event, and it's always a good time. As many of you may know, the revolutionary work that took place just north of here in Dayton by the Wright brothers put Ohio on the map as the birthplace of aviation. Their work inspired generations and fired the imaginations of many young minds to go on and do great things for our state and our country. Like you, I'm so proud of our state's aviation heritage, and events like this one remind us all what we have to be proud of. Families come from all over the Midwest to this event and experience wonderful Ohio hospitality and see firsthand why Ohio continues to be the best place in the country to live, work, and raise a family. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Wish I could be there with you all today. Stay cool. Godspeed.
Thank you, Rob. Next up, we have some opening comments from our Congressman Warren Davidson.
Hey everybody, I'm Congressman Warren Davidson. Welcome to Middletown, Ohio. We're so excited to celebrate the 19th Annual Ohio Challenge Hot Air Balloon and Skydiving Festival. We are confident that you're going to have a great time here in Middletown. You're going to celebrate with one of the most renowned skydiving teams in America, Team Fast Track. John and their folks are going to really show you a great time and some phenomenal skill. And look, I only have a few jumps, maybe 24, and they were all on static line. I'm proof that, gravity works on just about anything. I eventually made it to the ground and didn't break everything. You guys are going to see real skill and precision out of some precision jumps. And the hot air balloons, people just love seeing them. So thanks for bringing them here to Middletown, Ohio. Thanks for you and your families coming, and I hope you have a wonderful time in our great city.
And finally, we have Middletown's Mayor, Nicole Condry. Normally, we would have her up here on stage with us. However, at the moment, she's back in the Start skydiving hangar. She's packing her parachute. And here in a few minutes, we will see her deliver the American flag to us right out here in the landing area here. However, we do have a taped message from Nicole.
Welcome, everyone, to the Ohio Challenge, Middletown, Ohio. We're so grateful to have you here. Unfortunately, I'm a little busy right now prepping to go throw myself out of an airplane with some pyrotechnics on shortly. But I wanted to make sure that I brought this message to all of you and welcomed you here to our beautiful city. We're proud to have the Ohio Challenges woven into our culture here in Middletown. Our citizens are grateful to have you here and to show off our city to Southwest Ohio and the nation. And on top of it, the entire world, now that we're streaming. So thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the show.
So sitting next to me, I'd like to welcome a longtime supporter of the Ohio Challenge Hot Air Balloon and Skydiving Festival. Look over top. You can see Smoke On Aviation right over the landing field. It's great when they work overtime. We appreciate that. So John is a sponsor of this event. He is the owner of Selection.com. He also owns Start Skydiving, which is just located back here on Runway Drive at the airport. And he also operates Team Fast Tracks, which is the professional skydiving team that we will see perform 3 skydiving jumps this evening. John's not just a sponsor, he is a very active participant in the planning of this event and the execution of this event. And frankly, we are very fortunate in Ohio, and specifically in Middletown, to have John as a partner and his skydiving operations. Team Fast Tracks is the premier skydiving company in this country. And you're going to find out why tonight with some of the technology and capabilities and skills that John's going to share with you. There is no other community in Ohio that has this combination of hot air ballooning and skydiving. John, we're very appreciative of you being here. John and his organization are very forthcoming of their treasure, their time, and their talent. And we very much appreciate them here within the community. So, John, I'd like to welcome you and thank you very much for your active participation and sponsorship.
Dave, thanks. It's a privilege and honor to be a part of the Ohio Challenge for, 17 years now. And each year it seems to get bigger and better, and we make great strides and improvements and present a quality, wholesome family entertainment.
From your standpoint, what do you think this event means to the community?
I think it really defines Middletown in a lot of ways. I haven't seen a community that is as close as we are. And we're 51,000 residents, and we get along. And that's awesome. And this right here is like a big family reunion. Now, it used to be it was a Middletown family reunion, and then it's grown to a large regional, draw for Middletown.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm glad you mentioned that. In the early years, we were primarily a Middletown event. And here in the last several years, as we've added new entertainment and improved the experience here for our customers, we have grown to more than 50% of the visitors here come from outside of Middletown, and almost 9% come from outside of the state of Ohio. So we have really become a regional event, and this event is obviously the signature event for Middletown, for which we are very proud of.
Yeah, and it's not just a few people that do it. It's the entire community, the volunteers. There's hundreds that make this thing happen. Our law enforcement department, our fire department, our public works, they're all, participants in this. And it really brings the community together when everybody works together to put on something so special for our residents and the region.
Yeah, we are very fortunate that the community does come together and pitch in to make this event possible.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as it's over, it's spotless the next day. That's how fast the community responds and cleans up our park, and so that the next day the citizens can come out and enjoy Smith Park without looking at any garbage.
Oh, that's exactly right. And for those of you out there that love this event as much as we do and get as much enjoyment from it that we do, we are always looking for volunteers. While we currently have a volunteer base of about 200 people, we are always looking for more. And we have a lot of ways for you to get involved. You can get involved behind the scenes and do some work, and then you can be more visible out front. And if you're interested, make sure that you come and find me, or our sound man up here, John, is happy to take a note or maybe your name down. Please reach out to us if you're interested in getting involved. We always need people involved to help us do this event, especially if we want to continue to grow it. It takes people.
It does. I mean, tonight last night was awesome. We had a great turnout. I think the spot showers kind of discouraged a few people from coming out, but the crowd that was here really got a great show. And the fireworks were beautiful. I mean, it was just, it was spot on. Tonight, we want to talk a little bit about what we got going on here tonight?
Absolutely. So here in a few minutes, the Team Fast Tracks team is going to come down with a jump. Before we get in that, you want to tell everybody a little bit about Start Skydiving and Team Fast Tracks?
Yeah, I'd love to. So Start Skydiving is located here at the Middletown Regional Airport, just on the other side of those trees. And we bring about 35 to 45,000 unique visitors to Middletown each year and perform about 40,000 skydives. Today, we are doing big wave formations where 20 to 30 people are all getting out at the same time with multiple planes and forming formations in the air. So you can't see a couple of those yet tonight if the cloud level clears and we get the altitude. They're typically going to 14 to 15,000 feet, pretty high up in the air. But we're more than just a skydiving center. We've got a high elements ropes course, climbing walls, and we're open to the public. You don't have to want to skydive to come visit. Just come out and see what we're doing and have a picnic, enjoy the atmosphere.
So how do they get a hold of you at Start Skydiving?
Oh, wow. I think it's called startskydiving.com. Real simple. Just put it in there. It's easy to remember because I know everybody here wants to start skydiving.
So one of the things I get asked, people are familiar with Start Skydiving and Team Fast Tracks, but what is Selection.com?
So Selection.com is a pre-employment background check company that I started in 1991, and we perform around 30 million background checks a year. We do a lot with the Catholic Church, hospital systems, just about every organization that's out there. And we kind of created the skydiving team through Selection.com because we wanted to advertise at NASCAR. And so we had our parachutes made with our logo on it, and we called up NASCAR, and I was ready to pay them to jump in, and then they asked how much we'd charge. And I was like, whoa, they're going to pay us the market. So the team was kind of formed at that time, and now we perform about 300 shows a year for Division I football, NFL, MLS, soccer, NASCAR, Formula One. We just jumped at the Ferrari race up at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and tomorrow we're jumping up the New Hampshire NASCAR race, and we're jumping here. So it's a lot of activity. About 300 shows a year, 40 members, highly trained, skilled skydivers, and tonight you're going to see some of that.
So tell us a little bit more about the training and the number of jumps that your members have.
Yeah, so you can't apply to join our team. We have a selection program once a year. It's a 4-day course that we invite people to. You have to have a minimum of 1,100 skydives before we even talk to you. About 2 years ago, I just hit 21,000 skydives myself. So the team is collectively about 400,000 skydives amongst all of us, which is a lot of skydives. So to get the team, you're going to have to be one of the best of the best. And we don't always look for you to be the most skilled, but we're looking for a person who is that will fit into our family.
That's impressive. I understand some of your team members are also national champions.
We do. We have 6 U.S. national champions and world champions on the team. It's pretty awesome to compete. And actually, this year, 5 of us are going to the World Championships and competing. So it's kind of exciting. I'm one of those, hopefully.
Well, good luck. Right here in Middletown, right?
Yeah, so we're all based here, and we train here. And then the World Championships this year are going to be in Arizona.
Okay. Awesome. Maybe we'll get out there to join you.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring the World Championships here one year.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about, I know when the American flag jump comes, we're going to pause at the same time and have the national anthem. So talk a little bit about beforehand what's involved with the American flag jump.
So the American flag jumps are very technical. The flags that you'll see tonight, the first one is 1,100 square feet, and it has around 28 pounds of lead on the bottom of it. And there's a lot of drag, so you have to be very specific with where you exit, and so you don't get behind the wind line and get pushed further back. So we train a lot. So Middletown's kind of spoiled because they see American flags in the air all the time, whereas most communities maybe see it once a year or never. And so we're constantly training and refining. And we wear what's called fly sights, and it tracks all the data. So we're able to see at different altitudes what the wind speed is, what it does to our canopies under the flag under different sizes. And we save that data, and we track the wind and look at the weather, and we're able to pull back up, and we can remember exactly where we need to be and how we fly that form of training. So the first jump's only going to be one jumper. We think it's important to have just one flag for the national anthem, so our focus is on one of those. These flags, some people don't realize, they think you're not allowed to let the flag touch the ground, but I disagree. You are allowed to let the flag touch the ground. It's if you allow it to touch the ground with total disrespect in mind. And many of the people on this team were combat decorated veterans and make up about 2/3 of the team. And the last people you'll ever see disrespect our nation's colors are members of this team. We gather it quickly. We clean it. We make sure that there are no tears. We have a great deal of respect. You will see the jumper land, turn and salute the flag before they do anything. And the ground safety specialists will do the same. We also have a letter from Congress that authorizes us to jump these flags, and that it's not a sign of disrespect. So we received that letter in 2006 because we wanted to make sure we had an authorization so that people don't think we're ever doing anything disrespectful.
That's awesome. You mentioned veterans, and the thought came to my mind about you are a veteran yourself, and many members of Team Fast Tracks and Start Skydiving are also veterans. You have a real passion for serving veterans, and here next month, you're going to be doing that. Please share with everybody your commitment to veterans and what you do to help them.
Well, I can say as a veteran that served in a hostile environment numerous times, that my goal is never to go to Lowe's and hear the word thank you, because I should be thanking our community for allowing me to serve. I mean, they paid me to do all those things, and I volunteered to do it. So I've never looked for anything, and no one on this team looks for anything for gratitude. We do it out of love. But we started a foundation 13 years ago called Blue Skies for the Good Guys and Gals, and we take combat injured warriors and Gold Star families, family members who lost their loved ones in combat, skydiving for free. We've been doing that for 15 years, and we started our Warrior Weekend to Remember. And we bring in 20 to 30 of these people and create a real strong bonding relationship with them to where they leave here with a sense of purpose and a family. A lot of these Gold Star families who lost their sons or daughters feel lost. It's a loss. Whether you lose your child in combat, a car accident, or a cancer, it's still a loss. And they bond with these combat injured warriors, and they become almost surrogate children. And we've watched some just amazing things happen through our foundation. And August 12th, we'll be hosting them here. We're bringing in vintage aircraft, doing rides, skydiving, and then we've got the Camp Chautauqua for 2 days. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Very awesome, and it's just unbelievable, your commitment to veterans and what you do. I know there are many veterans here in the crowd. How can they learn more about the Warrior Weekend?
So you can go to the website. It's warriorwtr.com. Again, it's warriorwtr.com. Learn about it. And if you're a Purple Heart recipient or a Gold Star family and would like to participate, we take applications. We vet the people to make sure that they are who they say they are and what happened to them has happened to them. And then we typically will invite them to the next year's event. But we're always looking for volunteers to come out. We have Medal of Honor recipients, multiple Silver Star recipients. Colonel Gadsden, Greg Gadsden, who was in the movie Battleship, will be here. Just a good friend of ours in our foundation, double amputee, but just loves the skydive. So, like I say, warriorwtr.com, and we'll definitely get back to you if you're interested in volunteering.
Again, that date is August the 12th.
August the 12th,
You'll be
here.
here in Middletown.
Yes.
I have volunteered for that event in the past a number of years ago, and it is a very humbling, moving experience to engage with the veterans, really learn about them, learn about their story and their families and what they have given for this country.
Yeah, we found out our volunteers get more out of it than the warriors in some cases, which is pretty awesome. That it's like, this really enriched my life. And so being a volunteer is a special thing.
Any more on that?
No, like I said, you can go to the website and check it out. So tonight's jump, I think what we got coming out, they're going to be exiting at 18:32. So that's non-military time. That's 6:32. And we'll start the national anthem right at, I think, 6:35 and time it. And so what you're going to see is we got a little special treat. We're going to have members of Smoke On. They're going to actually be circling our flag and creating a big smoke circle flying around them while they're descending. The jumper is going to exit from about 4,500 feet and deploy the flag. And then once we know we got the right timing, we try to time it right to the very end when the flag's landing, the end of the national anthem.
That is a very moving experience, and it always sends the shivers up my spine when I see the flag, American flag, that big, bold, beautiful flag coming down with the national anthem being sung. So let's talk for a second. Once we have that American flag jump, what happens next? And currently going on behind the stage is the car show, and that will be active until 8 o'clock tonight. And I can see where the tethered balloon rides are, or the tethered balloon ride is, but I cannot see if it is up yet in the air. So I will keep my eye on that area and let you know when they start to. Doesn't look like the basket. I see the basket, but I don't see the envelope yet. So as we see them begin to inflate, we'll make sure we let you know. I think their challenge right now is the higher winds. So when those winds die down a little bit, I'm sure they'll start to provide those tethered rides. After the skydiving tonight, we will start to get engaged with the balloons. We expect the balloons will be right out here in the skydive landing and balloon inflation area, and we will be giving you regular updates. We'll have you an update at about 6:45 with regards to what the plans are tonight for the balloons. Our plan is for a number of balloons to actually launch, and then at about 9:30 or no 9 o'clock. Let me make sure 8:30. Those balloons will begin to come back to this area after the skydivers perform their 8 o'clock jump. You want to tell us a little bit about the 8 o'clock jump?
Yeah, so the 8 o'clock jump will have 4 American flags, and the largest will be 2,000 square feet, and then an 1,800 square feet flag, and then 2 1100s. So the largest flag on this jump was made for our teammate, Christian Stevens. And Christian was an Army Ranger, decorated lieutenant that served during the Persian Gulf and was a member of our team, and was tragically lost his life about 3 years ago. But his flag will be the largest flag jumped, and his family is actually going to watch this, Angel with their 2 daughters down in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's a special day to have Christian with us and to jump his flag at this amazing event.
What a wonderful tribute.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we miss Christian. He was just a great guy, but he's with us. He was a very devout Christian, and his flag, we call it the Christian.
Good. After that jump, again, we will have the balloons. They will certainly glow tonight. You'll want to make sure that you stay tonight for the glow. Last night's glow was outstanding, especially a couple of the special shape balloons. We have an aardvark, we have a kitty cat, we have a spaceship, and I can't remember the 4th one. So that'll have to be a secret. But those special shaped balloons are absolutely amazing and a lot of fun. Also tonight, especially for the children, and we really do this for the young children, once those balloons get out there in the landing area, and once they inflate, we are going to take down the orange cones and the yellow tape. We will take that area down, and we will invite families to go inside and actually get up close and personal to those balloon baskets. Here's an opportunity for you to engage in a conversation with a balloon pilot, ask him any questions that you may have, and really take a close look at the equipment that's involved with balloon flying. It's really a neat experience, one that we started here last year because of the feedback that you provided. You said that you really wanted to get to know the pilots and learn more about ballooning. Well, here's going to be your chance tonight to get up close and personal with the balloons. After the balloon glow, I'll let John talk a little bit about the pyrotechnics jump that you have.
Oh my gosh. So we're kind of spoiled in Middletown because we're based here and we train all the time. But there's only a couple places in the United States where you're going to see what we do tonight at 10 o'clock. And that's our pyrotechnic skydive. You'll have 4 jumpers, 3 of them wearing about 50 pounds of fireworks on their legs, and that have done it quite a bit, and they'll be shooting them off from about 2,000 feet and below. Again, the only time we do that, we do it here in Middletown a lot, and so they get to see it, is the Balloon Fiesta out in Albuquerque, and then we do Ocean City. And then typically we're overseas, or we do the Macy's fireworks, but most of our big fireworks shows are all done overseas just because of the cost. But tonight, don't leave early. Sometimes we see people pulling out of here right after the glow and they don't realize what's coming. But you don't get to see this very often. And it's not something that everybody does, because no one does it. It's only done by our team across the world. So it's a real treat to get to see fireworks shooting off of skydivers' legs. Because you see the parachutes and you're thinking, let's see here, fireworks and fabric, that just doesn't make sense, does it?
No, but everybody's come down safe, haven't they?
Absolutely. It's the same with balloons. You got to fill them with fire, so we kind of think, let's just do something like that on our legs.
So you also have a nice little surprise for everybody here as a part of your 8 o'clock jump, your tribute jump, and the pyrotechnics jump. We are going to be able to get a very special view of both of those jumps.
Oh, yeah. You're going to want to watch these big screens tonight, folks, or watch it on your phone, because we are going to shoot it live. We're the only team in the world that has the live air-to-ground video systems, and you will see the jumpers in the planes. You'll see them turn their lights on. You're going to watch them exit. You're going to see what it looks like at nighttime over Middletown, because they're going to be taking, live video of you all down here on the ground. So we're going to want to make sure that we let them know that you want to see them leave that plane.
It's outstanding. The feedback last night, both from the people here on the grounds as well as feedback on Facebook, was people were so excited and impressed and couldn't believe what they were able to see real time, the actual skydivers in the plane, the reactions on their face, and to see themselves actually falling and jumping out of the plane.
Yeah, and it's even more special here in Middletown, because the jumpers that are jumping here, they volunteer their time for this event. They do it because it's a community give back, which we do a lot of in Middletown. But this one is really special because it's all over the world being streamed live, and so their charity is going to touch a lot of people tonight.
It really is. Again, only in Middletown are you able to see this, right? It's so special.
I can tell you, only tonight you're going to see it. So it's rare to see it anywhere outside of Middletown.
So after that jump, and John will be back later before those jumps to give us more details about it, and he'll actually narrate both of the jumps coming up later this evening. After those jumps is our fantastic fireworks show. For those of you that were here last night and thought it was good, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tonight's going to blow that fireworks show out of the water. So I encourage you to make sure that you stick around and stay for the fireworks show that'll start at about 10 o'clock tonight. In the meantime, we've got 26 food vendors here. We have about 18 to 20 craft vendors. And I see not too long a lines at the food vendors. So I encourage you to pick out some of your favorite eateries and go honor them with a purchase. A lot of these vendors are from here in Middletown, some of Middletown's favorites. So make sure that you get around and see everything we have to offer here from a food perspective. We've also got plenty of drinks. We've got 3 beer tents set up, and then there are soft drinks throughout the site here.
So we're 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to exit. I think we've got a special Middletonian that's singing the national anthem, don't we, Dave?
We do. Where is Zion? I'm going to invite Zion up to the stage.
Oh my, there she is. She's like a rock star here in
Here's
Middletown.
Zion. Come join us here. Hello. You did a wonderful job last night.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, you're from Middletown, right?
Correct. Yes. So I was born and raised in Middletown. I was here. I graduated in 2017 from Middletown High School, and then I went to Bowling Green State.
And you live currently, what are you doing now?
So now, currently I live in Bowling Green, and I will be a 5th grade teacher this upcoming school year at Imagine Madison in Toledo.
That's wonderful, having an impact on our youth.
Absolutely. It's my calling, and I love what I do.
That's awesome. You used to come to this event a lot, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah, so I used to be here all the time. I volunteered for a very long time. With the soccer team, I was girls soccer team for 4 years. I was a varsity soccer player. So we used to volunteer picking up trash, and so that's where I started, and then now here I am on stage.
Zion's parents are here working tonight as well, aren't they? They're terrific volunteers.
Correct. Yes,
right?
you'll see my mom as the volunteer coordinator back at the information table, and you'll see my dad driving around on a cart picking up trash today.
And your brother is our social media
Correct. You'll see him right over there.
Tyree. So it's a family affair for the Hymans. They're all involved.
Yes.
Parents do
very
a
much so.
great job getting you guys engaged at a young age in the community,
Yes.
right? And giving back.
Correct.
Making a difference.
All right, so I think our aircraft just let the jumper out. Should be, if we're looking up there. And in just a few minutes, we'll wait till she gets at a good altitude, and we'll stand, and we're going to sing that national anthem. So let's just give it a couple of minutes here, Dave, and watch this beautiful flag fly.
Absolutely.
So within our flag repertoire, we have 16 American flags that we jump all across the United States. And our smallest is 275 square feet. Our largest is 8,000 square feet. And the stars on that are 5 feet across. Unfortunately, the 2 people that jump our largest one is injured and the other one is on vacation, so we weren't able to jump that particular flag. But you're going to see some beautiful flags here tonight on this one, and then again on the 8 o'clock jump. The flag itself, everything with the lead, weighs about 40 pounds, and our largest flag weighs about 375 pounds. And that is carried on the front of our jumpers, so they exit the plane with that much weight. So you can understand why we spend a lot of time training and making sure we do things right.
Well, they really have to be in shape.
Yeah, Dave, they are. They're in shape.
They're in shape.
They don't eat a lot of cookies. You ready to do this thing?
I am.
Let's get on out there on stage, and I'll let you know when we're ready to sing our nation's national anthem. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you join us and stand and place your hand over your heart, salute whatever makes you feel good, and honor a lot of America's freedom right here with our national anthem. Have at it, young lady.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
Isn't that awesome? That's a lot of freedom right there that just flew into Middletown.
That's awesome. Thank you, John.
So at 2000, we'll have 4 large American flags flying in formation, and we'll talk about a little more when that happens, Dave, with the live feed.
Great. Nice talking to you. I look forward to us being back up here in about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Enjoy your evening, folks. This is one of the greatest wholesome family events you're going to attend, and just enjoy it. One thing I want to say is remember that they're all volunteers. Getting out of here, there could be congestion tonight, and all those people that are out there just trying to help you get out of here are volunteers. So just be patient, enjoy the community, the atmosphere, and the fellowship. Have a great night.
Absolutely. So before I turn it over to Ron Terranova, who's going to take you on a ballooning journey, you will notice over here by the balloon and skydive landing area is a beautiful envelope inflated. That is the envelope of Dr. Mark Frazier. And Mark has invited all the children in the crowd to come over to his balloon, and you will get a very unique experience of going inside of the envelope. So, children, please make your way over to Dr. Frazier's balloon. On the right side of the basket, or on the right side of the balloon, go around to the right. And then please enjoy yourself inside Dr. Frazier's balloon envelope. Ron, take us on the balloon journey. And what are the plans this evening, or at least an update from the balloonists?
Well, that's why I just left talking with Sean Askren, the balloon meister for this weekend's event. You guys want to be careful when you cut through here in front of the stage. There's a couple of cables that are running out to the TV cameras, so you want to be careful you don't trip on that. Little PSA for that. Sean was saying that what we're going to do is Mother Nature's being a little blustery. So if any of you folks out there have got a direct line to her and got her favor, give her a holler and tell her she needs to stop blowing so bad. Right now, the winds are up about 13 miles an hour. The balloons like it to be a little less than that, just because an airplane can fly through because it's a tin can. Hot air balloon's just a bag of fabric, and you see how Dr. Frazier's balloon is getting blown around a little bit by the wind tonight. So what's going to happen is they're finishing up their meeting over there and talking about what they're going to do and the more exact plan. But what's going to happen is the balloon pilots are going to come back over here. They were over here earlier this evening. Did a little meet and greet for everybody. They needed to go back and get ready for this meeting, so that's why they headed back over to the tent over behind us, behind the stage there, over on the other side of the car show. So what they're going to do is they're going to come back over here, but what we're probably going to be doing is waiting on Mother Nature to get a little less blustery before the balloons can fly. Then later tonight, just before 9 o'clock, we're going to get the balloons set back up and do the balloon glow. If you guys haven't seen the balloon glow, the balloons can't fly in the dark because you got to be able to see the sharp upward pointy things that you could possibly run into. So what they're going to do is come back and get ready for the balloon glow at about 9 o'clock. So between the balloons launching, I believe John and the skydivers are going to be dropping in here about 8:15. So the balloonists have from 7 to 8:15 to get off the ground if the weather cooperates, if the wind cooperates. And then we're going to clear the launch field for the skydivers to come in at 8 o'clock. And then the special shapes and the other people that didn't fly are going to come back in for the balloon glow and get ready for that. So between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, the hot air balloons are going to not be up. They'll be getting their systems ready in that. So, go visit the car show that's over here because I understand it's going to be there until 7 o'clock. Go check out the different vendors that we've got out here and socialize with your friends and neighbors. Meet a few extra people. I've run into some people here last night that I haven't seen in a couple of years, so that's always good, being able to see people. But want to give everybody a heads up on how the balloon's working over here with Dr. Frazier's what we call fluff and puff or walk-through balloon. Basically, that's his old envelope. So he has a new envelope, looks just like that. You can barely tell the difference. Actually, what's going on between the two, I asked him this morning, because we were out here this morning doing a thing, doing a video presentation for one of the local TV stations. He said, that's a 12-gore balloon. So what's that mean? So you see the bulbousness of the balloon where it looks like a tulip? Those vertical lines are called gores. So that has 12 of those vertical lines. The new balloon looks exactly like that, but it's a 24-gore balloon, so it's smoother. So you'll see him back out here later tonight with the new envelope after they pack up the old envelope. But what they've got going is they're using the inflator fan, just like, I don't know if anybody's been around and seen balloons before, but what we do is we completely inflate the balloon like you see the balloon here with a cold air inflator fan. Reed Honda lawnmower turned on its side, running a couple thousand RPM, blowing air into the balloon. Once it gets packed with like that is right now, like Dr. Frazier's balloon is doing for us now, then you turn on the heater, and that 11,000 BTUs heats up all the air that's inside that balloon, and in a minute later, it's standing upright, ready to fly. So what they're doing is they're just having a couple of their team members holding the mouth of the balloon, the opening that's closest to the fire, closest to his trailer, holding that up, catching the air. They've got the crown line. There's a rope that runs from the top of the balloon that's tied to that passenger van up there, and they've just got that tied down. So if you look at the top of that balloon, there's a pie shape that you see in the pattern. That pie shape's about a 20-foot diameter hole. All the balloons typically have those. The special shapes may have them hidden from your view a little bit, but that's how you let a hot air balloon down. You pull on a control line that's inside the balloon fabric, and that opens that hole up, and it lets the hot air go out around it, lets the balloon collapse back down to the ground so that you can go down. So that's the way you add heat to it with the burner. That takes you up. You let heat out with the valve on the top of the balloon, the parachute valve, and that's how you come down. So you're, as a balloon pilot, you're constantly managing the heat picking you up and the air either cooling off or venting out, whichever way it may be doing. And that's how you maintain the flight pattern. People always wonder, well, how are you going to fly over here? Well, we're not going to fly this direction tonight. They're going to end up flying out into the northeast because that's the way Mother Nature's blowing. The balloons follow the wind. We drift with the wind. So you've got to manage where the wind at different altitudes might be taking you. On a nighttime flight, you're probably going to have about 10 degrees of steerage going on, and that's all that you're going to be able to go left or right. And you do that by going up or down. So that's why when you come to a balloon event like this, you see the balloons going up and down. They're trying to find that breeze that's going to take them to the backyard that they want to land in. That's the other part that we like to talk about. We like to give everybody a little heads up about the way hot air balloons work. Excuse me. We're not like an airplane. We don't take off from airports, typically. We don't land at airports, typically. We take off from places we have permission from the property owners. So the city of Middletown and here in Smith Park lets us use Smith Park. We'll take off from here, but our landing spot is going to be an hour that way, whatever way the wind is blowing. So we don't know exactly when we take off where we're going to go to. We've got an idea that there's, nice fields out that way that we could land in, but we also don't remember whether those fields are planted in corn or wheat yet, whether they're open. There's schools that we land at. There's churches we land at. Sometimes if the wind's calm enough, we land in the neighborhood. We'll land in the street in between the two houses. As long as there's not power there and there's not street lights there, That's a normal balloon operation, if you want to use the technical terms. It looks like when you see a balloon coming into land, there's no wheels on the bottom of the basket. There's no way to steer exactly where the basket's going. There's no landing gear. The basket is what we contact the ground with. So when I was a pilot, when I was an active pilot, I should say, we were constantly asking, well, have you ever crashed your hot air balloon before? And the answer is yes. Every time I land, it's a controlled crash. Now, as long as you don't see me screaming and hollering and yelling that we need some help because something else has gone wrong, that's a normal landing. But a lot of people don't understand that. You make a phone call to 911. Hopefully 911 says, hey, was it something you saw? Or was it something that a chase crew, one of the crew people said, hey, give them a call. That way they know whether to send the cavalry or whether they need to respond with a single entity to check on what's going on with it. But that's a normal operation with a hot air balloon. Is we come in, we contact the ground, we bounce a couple of times, we stop, and we're there. And then we're typically asking permission from the landowner to say, hey, we want to know whether it's okay that we retrieve the balloon from your yard. Because 50% of the time, if the landowner is not happy that we came in and touched down on their property, we're going to try to take back off again and find somebody that's happier with the fact that we're there. 99% of the time, I would say most people are thrilled that we ended up picking their yard or their neighborhood to come down in. But that's all up to the personal preference of the landowner. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to be on a little bit of a weather hold. You should see about 7 o'clock the balloon team's coming back over here and getting ready to be laid out. And we're going to keep an eye on what Mother Nature's doing. Somebody asked me one time, well, what's the best thing? What's the most technological advance that you've seen in ballooning in the 30 years that you've ballooned? The most technical advance I've seen is the fact that we can get weather on our telephones. You can get live radar. It's only 10 minutes old at the most. And so you know what's going on. You know whether there's rain in the area, whether there's wind, too much wind going on. So you know that, and you can evaluate that and decide what your flight parameters need to be that night, whether we're going to fly, whether we're going to just sit tight and wait and do the balloon glow. That's the best thing, is the balloon glow is 100% on right now. What we're waiting on to find out is whether Mother Nature, whether you guys all get in touch with her and tell her that you want to have her talk a little less. I think maybe she's related to me, or maybe I'm related to her. I don't know. But right now we're spelling Mother Nature with a U instead of an O. So if you guys got that main line in to change it, give her a holler. What we're going to do too then is when we get around to the balloon glow, I'm going to need your guys, all your guys' help with counting down for when the balloons are supposed to glow so that you can get a good picture of it. When even though I'm up here talking and you might be able to hear down on the far end of the field, once you get those balloons stood up and you got that burner roaring and you got that fan going, it's tough for them to hear. But if you guys help me out by counting down with me, we can give them all a heads up of what we're doing. So right now we're on a little bit of a wind weather hold. The balloonists will be over here a little bit after 7 o'clock. They're getting ready. Getting ready to have their meeting when I left over there to come over here to give you guys a heads up. So we'll talk with everybody later. Have fun, Middletown. Like I said, visit the car show, visit the vendors, get yourself a hot dog. We'll talk with you later.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with brand new Middletown City Manager. He's been the city manager for the past 3 months. That's Paul Lawley here sitting next to me, and he'll become the permanent city manager of Middletown at the council meeting on Tuesday. Now, Paul is a lifelong resident of Middletown. He's lived here 61 years, even though he tells me he just turned 25 last week. He's the retired fire chief of Middletown, so it's good to see a familiar face around here at the festival. And, Paul, you got a message for Middletown you'd like to share to start us off.
I do. First of all, good evening, Middletown. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves here at the Ohio Balloon Challenge. This is a great event that's been going on for many years, and it's just a wonderful thing for Middletonians to come down here and enjoy the balloons and all the other festivities going on. I just got a bit of a message for Middletown to let Middletown know that we're going to do some great things in Middletown here over the next several years. Number one is we're going to let Middletown be Middletown. And we're going to do this through resilient neighborhoods. We're going to bring back our neighborhoods because I think for Middletown to be returned to the great place it's been for many years is to have a city where families want to come to Middletown and families want to stay in Middletown. So we're going to do that through building resilient neighborhoods. We're going to do it through a strong and thriving economy. We're going to bring the businesses and corporations to town that Middletown wants. And Middletown is going to have a voice in that. We're going to continue to build a strong infrastructure. We're already seeing that through the repaving of our streets, and we're going to do everything we can once again to listen to Middletonians to build that strong infrastructure. I'd like to say this with one of our big corporations in town, Cleveland Cliffs, has come in and really done some super things for Middletown. Middletown is still strong, and we're going to remain still strong. And we're going to do what we can for all corporations and businesses to create a thriving economy because that's what we need to build the things we want to do. We're going to make Middletown a safe and healthy place to live. We're going to emphasize the importance of our public safety departments, our public works department, and our health departments. We're going to make Middletown a community where you are proud to be. And that's where we're going in the next several years.
I like it, Paul. That's awesome to hear. It's awesome to hear your passion and vision for the city. That's really good to listen to. Let's talk about this event. This is Middletown's marquee event on the calendar every year. What does this event mean to this city?
This event means a lot to the city because it's an opportunity for the community to come down, celebrate, and see some of the gems of Middletown, what I call the gems of Middletown. We have the balloons, we have start skydiving and Team Fast Tracks, the fireworks tonight, and everybody getting an opportunity to be out here and celebrate together and look at the beauty of the balloons. And this is just a time where we need to do more of these things, where Middletown has an opportunity to come together.
Sounds good. You're a lifelong Middletown resident. We talked about that. Now going to be the city manager permanently on Tuesday. What makes Middletown special? What makes it a special community?
What makes Middletown special is the people. Middletown is a very diverse community where everybody can get along, everybody can be successful, and that's what we're going to be. We're going to come back and be the all-American city we were in the past.
When someone takes public office, they're often asked about the first 100 days, right? When we get a new president in the United States, they talk about what are they going to do in the first 100 days? What are they going to do as soon as they start to get going with their responsibilities? For you, what are the first priorities as soon as you're sworn in on Tuesday in the city of Middletown in the office that you will take now?
I got 3 big priorities for the first 100 days. We'll have my team at the city building will have a 3 to 5 year plan that we will embark on to do 3 really big things. That's 1, focus on people, the citizens of Middletown, the staff at Middletown. Secondly, we're going to execute what Middletown decides what they're going to do. One problem I've seen is in the past, if we've had these grandiose plans, we've had these ideas, but we never bring them to fruition. We're going to do what the citizens of Middletown want, and we're going to execute and make those plans come through. For example, how many of you remember the day Middletown had Parks and Recreation? My promise to you is soon we're going to go back to having a Parks and Recreation department. If we want families to come to Middletown and stay in Middletown, we've got to make it family friendly and have things for families to do.
All right, Paul, talking about this festival, what's your favorite part of this every year? What is the best part of the Ohio Challenge?
Well, I love the balloons, and the food is a close second.
All right, close second. What's your favorite food out here?
Everything.
Yeah? That's awesome.
I haven't missed a meal, as you can tell.
All right, have you ever been skydiving? You ever been in a balloon before?
Well, they say being firefighter makes you courageous and brave. But I'm not that courageous to jump out of a plane. But I
Gotcha.
respect those that do. I tell you, Start Skydiving Team Fast Tracks is one of the gyms we have in Middletown, and we're lucky to have them. And the balloons, we're very lucky for this event to take place because it's a big thing. What a great crowd tonight.
It's awesome. All right, before I let you go, what do you want to say to this crowd? Any final messages, final words?
Middletown, be patient with me. You need something, let us know. We'll do what we can to deliver.
Paul Lawley, thank you very much. Great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Your new permanent city manager in Middletown, Paul Lawley, will be sworn in at the council meeting on Tuesday. We thank you for joining us.
My name is Marlon Stiles, proud superintendent, Middletown City School District, where we have a thriving school culture filled with educators who absolutely love our students and have big, giant hearts for making their dreams come true. We have some of the most unbelievable students in the state of Ohio, and we absolutely love them to death. Our kids have big dreams, and it's our commitment to make those come true. When I talk about a thriving culture, I absolutely mean that, both internally and externally in our school district. We've got stakeholders who truly wrap their arms around our children and really fight for opportunities for them to be successful into the future. I want to take a moment and highlight some of the reasons why, if you're not from Midi land or if you're not a Midi, why you should consider really investing in our community for the sake of the dreams and hopes of our children. We're working very closely with our chamber and our local workforce to really change the trajectory of success for our children during their K-12 experience, but also post-high school. We want to give them a trajectory to where they have life-changing opportunities once they walk across that stage at graduation, which is one of the most favorite moments I have as a superintendent, to see kids walk across the stage. Getting back to the investment piece. We are introducing our Passport to Tomorrow. It's a commitment to all 6,200 plus middies to make sure that they are developing the significant skills they need, the skill sets necessary to be game changers, difference makers in the future workforce needs of this region and across the state. We're investing in 32 plus different skill sets with local businesses, higher education institutions, and other philanthropic organizations to really provide every student opportunities to be successful. We make sure that we really give our kids a chance to have experiences, unique experiences, for them to explore and specialize in different career experiences based on their passions deep inside their heart. It's a commitment that we are making. It's a commitment that our staff's making, our community's making, our Board of Education, and more importantly, you, as someone who could potentially be a dream maker for our children. We want to welcome you to Middletown, welcome you to the community. More importantly, we want to welcome you to the Midi family. Hashtag, as always, hashtag Midi Rising. My name is Marlon Stiles, proud superintendent, Middletown City School District, where we have a thriving school
I'm Nicole Condry. I'm the mayor of Middletown, Ohio. Well, we're always focused on not just the future, but the now as well. And so the now creates the future. And right now we've got a lot going on. On our downtown, we have a lot of historic buildings that we really want to keep intact and find developers who want to actually renovate them and create mixed use, residential, hotel, retail, whatever it might be. So we've got a request for proposals going out soon for our downtown area for 5 different parcels, some of which are actually historic buildings themselves, which is very exciting. We've got a lot of interest coming to the city for that. We're also looking at the interstate area at the town mall. We have a plan with Warren County that we're working on for Sheets of Ice and a mixed-use development there with residential, hotel, dining, retail, a lot of entertainment. The entire interstate is going to get redeveloped at some point. It's just a matter of when, where, how, and how amazing. Well, Middletown streets, as everyone can tell, are really looking good. If you drive around our neighborhoods, I'll tell you what, people are taking even greater pride in their homes just seeing the streets being repaved. Now, I don't think council or the city government of Middletown really should take the credit for that because it's the citizens of Middletown who voted for the road levy. So the citizens are choosing to spend just a little bit more money to make those roads look incredible. And the way that we went about that as a city was we bonded those funds that the citizens devoted to that. And so by doing that, we stretched our dollars and we can now pave so much more of the city that we would have never been able to before, and our city is truly looking beautiful as a result. So I really want to thank the citizens of Middletown for paving their own roads and making the future of Middletown even more bright. So our citizens have also committed to revamping all of our fire stations. They have gotten very old and outdated and are actually a hazard to the firefighters who are posted to them. So we're going to be redoing all the fire stations, moving them around to new locations as well. That makes more sense for the calls and to service and where they're going to be able to get there more quickly and rapidly. It's really exciting. It's going to be a new face for a lot of different neighborhoods in Middletown as well, which is great to have them intertwined in the neighborhoods, which is where they're supposed to be to begin with. Middletown's name is no coincidence. We are the middle town between Dayton and Cincinnati. So, some people say that the middle child gets overlooked. Oh, no, no, no. The middle child is calculated. Middletown has sat back, watched, learned, taken notes. And we're not here to be a cookie-cutter city. We're not here to sell out to the highest bidder. We're here to find the right fit for our city that is woven into our culture. The Ohio Challenge is definitely one of those events that's woven into our culture. So our interstate is still yet to be fully developed, and we are looking for the right fits to develop it at the right time.
Rick McCrabb. I'm a reporter at the Journal News. I'll tell you what, this is, for me, this is year number 35. I started here in 1987. Obviously, there's been a lot of ebbs and flows in the community. Downtown, East End, South Side, you really name it. There's been a lot of different changes throughout the city. I think right now the city, in my 35 years here, probably is in the best position that it's ever been in. When you look at schools, you look at local government, you look at parks. I think the new firehouses that they're talking, that the levy passed, that they're going to build new firehouses. I think the city right now is in the best position that it's been in my 35 years. Yeah, I really think that Middletown is kind of the link between Dayton and Cincinnati, being located, right off of I-75. When you're driving, from Dayton to Cincinnati, the one city that you really see, on both sides of the interstate is Middletown. And it's interesting when you get off the Middletown exit and you see two hospitals. You see Atrium Medical Center, you see the Kettering Network, the Kettering Hospital Network. And then you also see that there's an airport here and that there's a branch campus of Cincinnati State, Miami University Middletown. You really have to think, if you've never been to Middletown and you get off the exit and you see that there's an airport, that there's two universities, that there's two medical facilities, you have to think, man, this city really is on the rise, and it has a great history and also a bright future. You know, that's kind of like the slogan for the city, but I think it's really true that Middletown really has a lot to offer. You know, I think really Middletown residents probably are the worst cheerleaders for their own community. A lot of times, all I hear about are the negative things that are happening in the community, and I understand that. But that message that Middletown residents are sending needs to be more positive. You know, it's difficult when you're from Middletown and you're speaking to someone in a different community, and all you are doing is bashing your community. That sends a bad message, and I think a lot of that has to do with social media. You know, when you see Facebook and you see Twitter, people typically on there are negative about their own communities, and it's upsetting for me. You know, for me, you know, I got here in 1987. I live in Springboro, which is just north of Middletown, another suburb up there. But Middletown, for me, it's become home for me. You know, I think that it's a little bit like sleeping in a bed where it's a nice warm bed and the blankets are comfortable. Middletown residents have embraced me, and they have embraced my family. I've had opportunities to go elsewhere, but I've chosen to stay here because it's a comfortable community. Not so much, you know, the buildings and the structures, but the people. The people is what make this community different, I think, because they've been here for a long time. They're invested in their community. They want to see it succeed, and I think that's pivotal. You have to have good people to have a good community. The one thing that I think Middletown needs to do is when you go into communities and you see that they're building new homes, they say, they talk about the school district. You know, if you buy this house, your kids will go to this school district, and I think that's pivotal. I think, you know, Middletown, once the school district can get grades up and test scores up and build new homes and say, if you live here, your kids will go to Middletown City Schools, and that's a bragging point. I think then the city then has turned the corner.
Good evening, Middletown. Wanted to give you guys a heads up. Everybody look out towards the launch field. We've got Al Nels putting cold air in his hot air balloon. Time flies. When you see this balloon, you're going to notice that it's a lot different than most balloons. First off, it's a football-shaped balloon. We in the ballooning world call that a racer. It goes up incredibly fast, and it falls incredibly fast. But that has a pictorial of the Nels family on it. You'll see the balloon on the top of it, the biggest one. That's his first balloon. Al built that, the Spirit of Dayton. And then behind that on the left is another balloon that he used to fly for his employment. And then the balloon on the right is a balloon that him and his daughter owned before he bought Time Flies. They called it Woohoo. But basically what you're seeing is he's cold airing. Him and I believe AJ are going to get ready and go and fly off for us. Everybody else is using him as a big old pie ball. You see people letting go the little helium balloons to see what the winds are doing. Well, he's our big helium pie ball. Now, he doesn't have any helium in him. He's going to be full of hot air. At least that's what we always tell. He's full of hot air. But all those pictures on that have something to do with his family. The jet on the side represents his son, which is in the balloon next to him, AJ. And you see the X on the ground that he's competing on, and of course he's dropping his marker right on the center of the X. You see LA Cake Company on there because that's his daughter. She's one of the two owners in the LA Cakes up in Dayton, and that's who owned Woohoo with him. And then there's the apple in the apple tree getting ready to fall on the teacher reading the book underneath that represents his other daughter. And then his mom and dad are represented on there with a quilt and some other things like that. You'll have to go up and ask him afterwards in between now when he gets back in the balloon glow. Ask him about what all the symbology is there, because I don't remember it all, but I think it's a pretty cool idea. And he calls it Time Flies. So you can see he's standing on the burner right now trying to get the balloon to stand up, and Mother Nature's pushing him around a little bit. You notice the balloon dishes in on the side because the wind's blowing a little bit. He waits for it. He'll probably go around and hit the burner again. I'm taking that guess. Al and his son AJ are both world hot air balloon competitors. There he goes. Al won the event in Austria a number of years ago. He's a national champion, hot air balloon champion. You ask, well, how do you become a hot air balloon champion? What's that mean? Well, it's not quite like an IndyCar racer driver that's running around the racetrack the best. That X you see on the side of the balloon, that's what we do. We spread out on the X on the ground, and then we try to fly by and drop a 4-ounce beanbag with a 6-foot streamer on the center of that X. And whoever gets closest to the center of the X wins that competition. That's how we compete in hot air balloon. It's a competition of accuracy. So you see the balloons dishing in because the wind's blowing pretty good. Al's not on the burner right now because he's knowing that the balloon's dishing in. He's waiting for it to breathe back out. As soon as you see it breathe and that mouth gets all the way open, he'll be back on the heat again. But this is why everybody's waiting a little bit. Al's got all the experience and knows how to deal with Mother Nature as she's doing right now. But everybody that's out here doesn't necessarily want to fight that fight. And you can ask the crew guy that's on the crown line out there trying to hold that beast down. That's about 8 tons worth of mass. There he goes with the heat. She's breathing again, going to give him room to put the heat in there. He's going to do his best to get her to stand up, because when you go into the world's balloon competition, you're talking about 100 pilots that are the world's best. So the competition level goes up and the experience level goes up, and they'll fly in conditions that you and I don't want to fly in. There, Al's getting the hot air in it, getting her stood up. He's giving his crew a workout, doing it all to show you guys what hot air ballooning is. So give him a hand when he gets her stood up. Let him know you appreciate it. Al Nels, everybody, out of Dayton, Ohio, in Time Flies, the story of his family. I had the privilege of helping him and AJ. They also fly gas balloons. So a gas balloon is different than a hot air balloon. It's what you think of in the old, Around the World in 80 Days kind of movie and old-time pictures. It's a circular balloon. It's a lot smaller because the lifting gas, hydrogen or helium or anhydrous ammonia, which is what they use to fertilize the fields with, does a lot more lifting for a cubic foot of gas than just hot air does. So then you've got a basket, but you've got to fill that balloon up. And so I was one of the people that was giving him a helping hand on inflating that balloon. And his son AJ works for a major airline. He was on an airplane flying into Dayton yet while we were getting the balloon stood up for him so that when he got there off of the Dayton General Airport outside of Springboro, he could hop in the balloon and take off and do a gas balloon flight with his dad. There we got. Al's off the ground, everybody. Give him a good hand. And there's a reason why. Woohoo! Three times as fast as a regular hot air balloon. That football shape, it's tall and skinnier than a regular balloon. It's taller and skinnier. It allows it to go up incredibly fast. As a matter of fact, Al's good friends with the one balloon manufacturer in Michigan, Cameron Balloons. That's the name of that's the manufacturer of Time Flies. Cameron was trying to interest Al in the racer balloon because he always flew regular shaped balloons. And so they let him borrow the company racer balloon to try it out for a couple times. So being a smart old man, like some of the rest of us are, he let his son AJ fly it. So AJ thought, well, let's find out what the performance is of this balloon. So I think the manufacturer says you will not exceed a 400-foot-a-minute climb or a 400-foot descent. AJ put that balloon, took it up to about 5,000 feet, 6,000 feet, put it in a 2,000-foot-a-minute descent, and it blew out the pilot lights, blew out his burner. He's like, that's interesting. Lit his burners back up, got the balloon stopped. Thought, well, let's see if that does it again. Climbed back up, put her back into a dive again, 2,000 foot a minute, poof, the burner went out again. He's like, note to self, don't go that fast. Well, if you read the manual, 1,400 foot a minute max, either way. They'll go faster than that, obviously. So we're all watching Al, all of us, all the balloon pilots are keeping an eye, trying to figure out what way he's going, where they're going to be able to go, because they want to get back and do the balloon glow. As you see, it's kind of cool to watch him take off, but in 5 minutes, he's out of sight or pretty far away. So what we want to do is we want to do that balloon glow, because once we get the balloons out there later tonight, we're going to drop the caution tape and let you guys out on the field with the balloons and allow you to come up close to the balloons, ask questions. That way you don't have to listen to me talking all the time. You can ask that burning question of the local balloon pilots. So I'll give you a hint on chasing the balloon, because that's how I got my start. Most people do. We become crew people first, then we learn to be pilots. Notice how you don't notice him going left or right. So that means he's either coming straight at us or he's going straight away from us. Well, since we're upwind of him, I'm pretty sure he's going straight away from us right now. But you can see he's not turning left or he's not turning right. So there's that cone of direction I was talking about earlier, where there's about a 10-degree cone. He took off over there on the launch field. He's on that south side of that cone right now. And he's trying to find out where that cone's going to take him, planning that cone out. So one of those things when you're at a balloon event like this and we get to fly and we're doing a competitive event, if you see the balloon fly by and throw a beanbag out, that 4-ounce beanbag with a 6-foot streamer on it, you want to leave that on the ground, because there's somebody that's going to be by to record that beanbag's location, because that's going to be his score. And if you say, oh, cool, there's a beanbag, and you grab it and you take off with it, he doesn't get a score. And actually, he gets a penalty because it's a lost beanbag. So whenever you see us at a balloon event and we're throwing beanbags at a marker or at an intersection, when you're doing the national balloon event, like we had the nationals in 92, 93, and 94 here in Middletown, you were throwing at the center line of the intersection of two streets. So when you see that happening, you just want to stand there and you want to wait for the crew to come by and say, hey, his baggie's over here, in case it wasn't right in the middle of the road, if it's off the edge or whatnot, because somebody's going to be responsible for scoring that. So you want to leave the baggies until they get a chance to score them. You don't want to grab them for a souvenir. So, Sean, is AJ still thinking about flying over there? Yeah, I don't see. That was the iffiness. Was that AJ giving me the iffiness, or was that somebody else? That's AJ. All right. What's Dad saying? Is he having fun up there? That's always was the case of when I flew. When the boss was flying a balloon and I was on the ground chasing him, he said, you'd hate it up here. It's terrible. So I just found out from my local balloon fanatics that I didn't win the split the pot on the car show behind us. Darn. Anyway, you guys, if you're watching, you're going to be here. You're going to see Al disappear behind the trees when he drops down to the ground to try to find a place to land. Right now, I'd say the balloonists are still waiting a little bit, trying to figure out what the winds are doing, what Mother Nature's up to. It's always getting off the ground, like you saw Al fighting the balloon there, the balloon dishing around. That makes it a lot more work than it needs to be. But we want to show off to you guys. So right now, while you're waiting for it, we'll give you a heads up when the next balloon's getting ready to go. Go check out the car show, check out the vendors, hang out and check out your next door neighbors, talk with the friends, and we'll be back on the mic here when we're getting ready to go with some more stuff. Otherwise, we're waiting for Mother Nature to get less blustery and waiting for the balloon glow later, just before 9 o'clock, we'll start inflating the balloons. Am I still on? Oh, there we are. I have somebody up here asking about the tethered balloon rides. The tethered balloon rides are going to be over on the old ball fields over here on the other side of the bathroom buildings here behind the stage. You'll see the balloon inflating when it's ready. He's doing the same thing, I'm sure, waiting on Mother Nature to get a less blustery. I believe there's a tent over there, a pop-up tent, is where they're selling the tickets for it. but that's going to be over behind. Basically, for those of you who've never been in a hot air balloon before, besides Doc Fraser's walkthrough balloon, you want to get a little bit of an experience of hot air ballooning. We have a tethered balloon that's going to be doing tethered balloon rides. Basically, it's nothing greater in the world than doing what you'd love to do in front of a couple thousand people. So we'll give them some encouragement by 8:15 of all vehicles and people. The field will reopen at 8:25 to get ready for the glow. In between that, we get the StartSkydiving.com skydiving team coming into the launch field there. At that point, it becomes a landing zone as opposed to a launch field. I noticed a few people out here staring up. I'm assuming they're watching a few of the student parachutists practice their trade. We have a lost phone. It's going to Lost and Found up in the event area more. So if you've lost your phone, go to the Lost and Found. So it looks like Mother Nature's not being as blustery. You don't see the balloon dishing around as much. We'll see how it goes here for Sean's inflation. There he goes with some heat, heating all that volume of air up. You can see the far side is dishing a little bit, so there's a little breeze out there yet. Each one of those burners Sean's got his hands on is 11 million BTU. Most of the houses out there here in southwestern Ohio have a 10 million BTU furnace. Goes Sean. Everybody give him a round of applause. All right, I'm looking at the time frame, and 8:15 is in 15 minutes. So my guess is that most of the pilots are going to wait out and do the balloon glow after the StartSkydiving.com skydivers come into the landing zone. Watching Sean spin the balloon around on its axis, there used to be a gentleman that had a hot air balloon that had a carousel theme to it. And so when he took off, he would come out and he would spin around in a circle like that as he was flying away, so that it looked like the carousel was operating. There's a vent built into the balloon that allows you to turn it like that. 15's coming up in 10 minutes, so you need to be clearing off the launch field until the skydivers come in. So we need everybody to move your equipment back off to the pathway, out of the landing zone, so that we can feature the skydiving group, and then we'll come back out and do our balloon glow. Then we'll have the skydiving pyrotechnics, where they set off fireworks from their legs while they're coming in to land. That's a cool time. And then we'll have our fireworks show. The fireworks show will be centered out there behind all the balloon trailers, where you see them out. You see the vehicles that are across the airport there. That's where all the fireworks are going to be launching
This is Jeff
from.
Boland from 105.9 The Oasis. Visit the Ohio Challenge booth vendors: Leaf Home Water Solutions, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection, Mr. Roof, Phoenix Metals, Renewal by Anderson, Travel Smart Vacations, and the U.S. Navy.
Well, I ain't never been to Barbie downtown. No, I can't swig that sweet champagne. I'd rather drink beer all night in a tavern or in a honky-tonk or on a four-wheel drive tailgate. I've got
Be careful when you're walking in front of the stage. There's a couple of cables there, guys, to get caught on. you're down there by the wheel of the plane. That's the end of the airport that we're on. I always think it's cool to be able to see this stuff from the air.
So we've got a tradition where we always give handshakes, and it's a unique handshake. Everyone has a different one for each person. So when you have 17 team members in the plane, it gets a little confusing doing all the handshakes, but we figured if you can do the handshakes, you'll survive the skydive. I'd say in the aircraft, our pilots, all of them have over 1,000 hours of flying. And the individual shooting the video is my son, Alex. Alex is a U.S. Nationals gold medalist and is on the United States parachute team for the World Championships. And then you have the mayor, who is in there, Nicole Condrey, who's a member of Team Fast Tracks, and she is also on the U.S. parachute team and training for the World Championships in October. John Foreman is a Marine Corps Force Recon member, and he'll be jumping on that. Ben Jonas is an Air Force PJ, which is a pararescue, and he's based at Wright Pat. And then, who else is on this skydive? Karen Lewis. And Lou is just a phenomenal skydiver. I've known her for over 20 years. It looks like 2 minutes. So the flags, they'll be jumping tonight. There's 4 American flags. The largest one is 2,000 square feet, and the total weight is 54 pounds on the front of that skydiver. And then we have an 1,800 square foot, and that weighs about 45 pounds, and then 2 1,100 square feet, and they weigh about 40 pounds. You can see the bags right here in front of them, and the green handle is what we deploy the flag with, and the red handle would be if we got in trouble, we'd cut it away. All of our parachute systems for the flags have a reserve parachute. So if there was a malfunction, we can safely allow the parachute to settle to the earth under its own parachute. We have used that, and we're one of the only teams, I believe, that uses reserve parachutes on all of our equipment. So they're banking it in, and they're going to be bringing it around on jump runs. So let's take a look up in the air, and let's see what they're getting ready to do here. All right, I'm getting a little nervous. That's my baby that just climbed out. All right, they're straight up, everybody. First one out is going to be the mayor. Ready, set, go. There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And let's see where Alex goes. Oh, there he goes. That's a cool view, getting to see them exit the plane, because you never get to see that. And you're only seeing it right here in Middletown. So all the jumpers have radio communications, so they're talking to each other right now, and they're going to set up their formation. So there's one particular flag tonight, the 2,000 square foot flag that's jumping, was made for a teammate of ours named Christian Stevens. And Christian was an Army Ranger, second lieutenant with the 82nd Airborne Division. And he was a member of our team, and he lost his life in a tragic accident about 3 years ago. And so his flag is the 2,000 square foot flag, and we are jumping it and dedicating this jump to our teammate, Christian Stevens. So his family is watching this from all over the United States because we are streaming this worldwide. And what you're going to see here is over 6,000 square feet of American pride. How cool is that? This flag right here is Christian's flag. Angel, we're dedicating this to your awesome husband. We love him, and we hope you appreciate this dedication. Oh my gosh, they've got red, white, and blue smoke going out there. That's pretty cool.
Hey, Don, how did I get to do that. That's really cool.
So it's rare you get to see this live. We do this for Division I football games. Enjoy the show, folks. God bless America.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Let them know, Middletown, that's pretty cool. StartSkydiving.com.
And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
All right, Middletown, you can see that since the skydivers are down and packing up their equipment, give them a great big hand again. That's awesome. All the balloonists are getting their balloon equipment out there too to get ready to put the balloons up. Get ready to do the balloon glow for you guys. We'll sit here just what we call static for a little bit. Wait for everybody to get in, get up, get the balloons stood up, get ready for dark so that we can make some cool pictures. The trucks in the middle there, the sprinters you see in the middle, or Ram vans, those are the special shaped balloons. The balloons that look like something out of this world, as opposed to just the average, middle of the road hot air balloon. So if you want to get pictures, those are the cool areas. What we're going to do is I'm going to have to get you guys to give me a helping hand on letting them know when we're ready to do the balloon glow, when we're ready to take a picture of them. What we'll do is we'll do a countdown. Last night I counted from 5, and I felt like I was doing too much counting. So we're going to start with 3 tonight, And I want to get you guys to give me a helping hand with that so that the balloon pilots know that we're ready to do an all glow and that you guys have got your cameras ready to take pictures of it. So right now we're going to hang out for a little bit, let everybody get their systems together, get started on putting the balloons up, and then we'll go from there. So everybody have fun, Middletown. Yeah, and I wanted to remind everybody, I said it earlier, but the crowds got considerably thicker. Once the balloons are stood up, we're going to drop the caution tape and let you be able to go out there and get up close and personal with the balloons. Now, what you need to do, though, is you need to be careful of lines that are going to go between the baskets and the tie the balloon basket back, keep it from blowing away. You don't want to walk in between a basket and its envelope. There's cables there that you can get entangled on. But we should have the balloons stood up before we let you guys out there. But you just want to be aware of that, especially as it gets darker. Then you want to be aware of the crews telling you, hey, we need room to take this down. You know, a balloon is made out of ripstop nylon, but it can tear. You can stand on it. Somebody's pulling on it the other direction, and it causes a rip, causes an expensive repair on the equipment. So you want to be careful. You want to listen to what the crews are telling you. But we're going to let all the people out on the field once we get the balloons stood up. So everybody have a good time, and we'll get back with you here in a little bit.
All things considered, I'm doing just fine, even though you left the whole of size of Texas deep inside of my heart. The way I feel, I should be losing my mind.
Guys, be careful cutting between the bleachers and the stage. There's a couple of cables running out there to the cameras.
When you feel all alone and the world has turned its back on you, give me a moment, please, to tame your wild, wild heart. I know you feel like the walls are closing in on you. It's hard to find relief, and people can be so cold.
No, ma'am, this is not.
On your door, and you feel like you can't take anymore. Let me be the one you call. If you jump, I'll break you fall. Lift you up and fly away with you into the night. If you need to fall apart, we can mend a broken heart. If you need to crash and burn, you're not alone. When you feel all alone and a loyal friend is hard to find, you're caught in a one-way street with the monsters in your head.
Once again, if anybody's interested in catching the hot air balloon experience, the balloon's behind the food court area, that side of the Smith Park, doing tether rides. It's $20 a head. Gets you about a 2-minute balloon ride to the top of the trees there. Wanted to give everybody a heads up. I had a few people asking me where that was at, and I thought it was back behind the stage here more. He's up there on the other side of the tree line.
You breathe has turned its back on you. Give me a moment, please, to tame your wild, wild heart. Let me be the one you call. If you jump, I'm ready to fall. Lift you up and fly away with you into the night. If you need to fall apart, like a never broken heart,
check, check, check.
Suntan toes tickling the sand, cold drink chilling in my right hand, watching you sleep in the evening light, resting up for a long, long night. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling alright when the sun sinks down, sinks down, sinks down, sinks down, sinks down, sinks down. Over the water, over the over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. Yeah. All day long, just taking it easy, laying in a hammock where it's nice and breezy, and sleeping off the night before. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be back for more. When the sun goes down, I'll be on a groove when the sun goes down. Feeling alright when the sun sinks down over the water. Everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. Push, 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 push. This old guitar and my glasses. This sweet concoction is smooth as molasses. Nothing to do, breathe all day until day, until day, until day, 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 until the big moon rises and it's time to play. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling alright when the sun sinks down, sinks down. Push, push. Everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. Sun goes down. We'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling alright when the sun sinks down. Sun sinks down. Sun sinks down. Over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun down. Yeah.
Hello, this is Gina from 105.9 The Oasis. The Ohio Challenge primary sponsor, the Middletown Community Foundation, has helped send over 100,000 books to children up to the age of 5 as part of Dolly Parton's Imagination Library.
Feeling alright.
Hello, this is Jeff Boland from 105.9 The Oasis. Visit the Ohio Challenge booth vendors: Leaf Home Water Solutions, Leaf Filter Gutter Protection, Mr. Roof, Phoenix Metals, Renewal by Anderson, Travel Smart Vacations, and the U.S. Navy.
Hello, this is Gina from 105.9 The Oasis. Thanks to all the volunteers who work to make the Ohio Challenge a first-class event. The planning committee works year-round to bring you the finest entertainment, always with something new and different.
Hello,
this is Ernie from 105.9 The Oasis. Many businesses help present the Ohio Challenge. Silver level sponsors are Bud Light, Ohio Eagle Distributing, Travel Butler County, Cincinnati State Technical Community College, Jeff Couch's RV Nation, and Ottervine Senior Life.
I never let my feelings show. I never let anybody know just how.
So like I told you guys before, what we're going to do when all the balloons get stood up is we're going to let you guys come over the yellow caution tape. But that's going to be a few minutes yet. We're going to give you a little heads up of what to expect with the fireworks show afterwards. So watch everybody doing their inflations and how systems go together and that. And we'll get back with you here in just a little bit, Middletown. We're getting set up for the balloon glow coming up here at 9 o'clock.
Keep bringing out the free in me. What you do to my heart just makes me melt. And I don't think I can resist, but I've never been one to kiss and tell. Love this true can't be subdued, so I'm gonna let out I'm gonna stand on a rooftop, climb up a mountaintop, baby, scream and shout. I'm gonna sing it on the radio, show it on the video, baby, leave no doubt. I want the whole world to know just what I'm all about. I love to love you out loud. Baby, I want the whole world to see just how good your love does for me. I'm gonna stand on a rooftop, climb up a mountaintop, baby, scream and shout. I'm gonna sing it on the radio, show it on the video, baby, leave no doubt. I want the whole world to know just what I'm all about. I love to love you, baby, I love to love you out loud. Yeah, I love to love you out The first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the Love Shack, yeah, yeah. I'm heading down the Atlanta highway, looking for the love getaway, headed for the love getaway. I got me a car, it's as big as a whale, and we're heading on down to the Love Shack. I got me a Chrysler, and it's about 20, so hurry up and bring your jukebox money. The Love Shack is a little rough place where we can get together.
Hey, we have a lost set of parents out there. We have Braxton and Mariah up here at the stage. They are looking for their lost parents. Braxton and Mariah are looking for their parents. Please come up to the stage.
You guys want to make sure to give Mark Frazier over there that's outside of the launch field room around his balloon to get it inflated there. It'll get a little more monstrous here as it starts to inflate.
Love Shack is a little rough place where we
think it's interesting that we got two of the Kuziks on the one end of the field and two of the Kuziks on the other. Must they have a family feud going on? We had father and son, Al Nels was talking about, and AJ Nels is up there now. His balloon's in the middle. The one that's got a lot of silver and white in it, called Marvelous. Down here on the other end, you've got Arrhythmia, the black balloon with the rainbow equator. And next to him is his son-in-law, Phil Garver, with the one that kind of looks like Indian corn. You've probably seen that around the area here. Phil lives over in Lebanon. Down on the far end, we've got Cloud Rider out of Richmond, Indiana, and Justice out of Upper Sandusky. Justice is just Jeff Conley and his wife, but he used to be a state trooper, so Justice has got a double-edged meaning. Next to that's Kevin, Lori Nowak out of Dayton, and then we've got the Laura Kuzik and Jim Kuzik, husband and wife, they're next to each other out of Marysville, Ohio, just to give you guys a heads up. So his son's here. He'll be back. He should, but I don't know for sure. It's the one that's got all the pictures on it. Yeah. That was it. And then yeah, it's mostly red, blue, and white status, yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. Ought to be good. So everybody, we're gonna have Patrick talking to the boom master out here. Balloon, we call them balloon meisters in the balloon world. I don't know if this is a boom master or not.
It is not a boom master. These are the guys who do the fireworks show tonight and yesterday. They've been doing it for 5 years. They're from Yoakum Fireworks. I'm sitting next to Matt Hamberkoss. Jason Hamberkoss is on the other side of him in the blue shirt. David Bonbarger is behind him. So just tell me, first of all, how long does it take you guys to set up the fireworks? Because I know you guys were just doing that before you came and did this.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. You know, this takes a crew of about a dozen folks, about a week to really prepare and set up for, out here for 2 to 3 days, and then a day after cleaning everything up. But yeah, crew works really hard to put together a pyro musical, state of the art. You'll never see this show again, so every show is custom, and this one will be built specifically for Ohio Challenge.
That's awesome. How many fireworks are we going to see tonight?
Yeah, so we have over 15,000 cues, so everything from 8-inch to 10-inch shells all the way down to 3-inch shells. So there'll be a lot of pyro musical effects, comets and mines, and some flame.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
We have them manufactured. They're in tubes that don't take our legs off in case they blow up on our legs. The apparatuses that we wear are designed and built here in Middletown. There's nothing else like it. We're in our probably 10th generation of what we jump. They have ballistic fabric, they have welding cloth, they have bulletproof Lexan within it, so that if something should happen, they can be safe and not lose a leg. The other thing they have is they have parachutes. So if they have an incident, they're able to find a safe area over the airport and release that large block of pyrotechnics that's on their legs, and it safely falls to the earth, at least slow enough to where it's not going to injure anybody unless you decide you're going to try and catch it. The live feed again tonight is my son Alex, who's one of the owners of Start Skydiving. Alex is a U.S. Nationals gold medalist and a member of the United States parachute team. What do you guys think? Is that pretty cool? There, I think that's our mayor that just gave you a thumbs up, and others on the team. I think they're pretty excited to entertain you here over Middle.